The first 2 weeks of the second Trump administration had been nothing short of extraordinary because the president has been making good on his promises. I'm Michael Quinn Sullivan with a reflection on life and liberty. I guess it's easy to be opposed to Donald Trump because some on the so-called right have made a pretty good living since 2016 being professional never-Trumpers. In the days after Donald Trump was sworn in for this new term, The Atlantic ran a screed titled Evangelicals Made a Bad Trade by Peter Wehner. A former speechwriter for George W. Bush, Wehner despises Donald Trump at a visceral level. The Christian charity that he often demands others show to the murderous left, he refuses to give to the president or the president's supporters. While ostensibly a conservative and pro-lifer, Wehner's hatred of all things Trump means he will not acknowledge major victories secured by the president. Among Donald Trump's first actions was a reinstatement of the so-called Mexico City language, forbidding any taxpayer funds from going to abortion providers overseas. The president also pardoned pro-life activists who had been subject to politicized prosecutions by the Biden administration's death cult. Yet, Wehner excoriates churchgoers for having supported Donald Trump. There is a class of professional Christian pearl clutchers who apparently would be happier if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were still allowing babies to be butchered on the taxpayer's dime. But those guys lost, and real evangelicals won. We successfully hired someone to do a job, and Donald Trump is delivering in spades. The never-Trump cult of Christian essayists is angry that the faithful have stopped accepting their moral victories and are instead cheering on real wins. The pious charlatans falsely claim Christians are trading Jesus for Donald Trump. That could be a horrific slander, but it more likely betrays either their own false faith or their very real confusion about the role of government in the real world. Either way, these milquetoast Christians would keep serving up polite losers like the Bush clan. Instead, American evangelicals have opted for a fighter willing to slay giants in the real world. You don't have to like the kid running the drive-thru lane at McDonald's. You need him to do his job and let you move on down the road. Same for a president. We hired a man to do a job. Donald Trump is doing that job. Sinfully grotesque theories on gender and sexuality are being eradicated from the federal government. Children are being protected from mutilating surgeries. The border is being secured. This is the deal we made in hiring Donald Trump, and the effete crowd of Christian thinkers wants us to reject this? No way. People of faith are winning in this revitalized Trump administration, and we are nowhere near being tired of it. The Reflections podcast is presented by Texas Scorecard. If you like today's message, be sure to rate it, leave a review, and encourage your friends to listen. I'm Michael Quinn Sullivan. Thanks for listening.